Idris Elba, my friend, my brother, arguably one of the best actors of our generation. I have a newfound respect for you as an actor. When I watched Beast last night and then I saw the actual lion that you were shooting with during the movie. Bravo. Just bravo. Just bravo.
Well, listen, just so that we're clear, it was more about a guy in a like gray pajama suit holding a huge make-believe cat head and basically growling, because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to growl a little bit to get into it.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't look anything like a lion. So yes, that fear that you see in this film is really me trying to hold back the laughter.
It is sheer acting chops. It is sheer acting chops that is delivered in this movie. No, seriously, I watched last night. I was terrified because movies like this give me full anxiety.
Yeah.
But it was but you're so good and you're so scary. Were you scared watching it back? Did you forget that it was the guy, or what is that process like? Is that weird for you?
Yeah, because I saw what we call previs, which is basically, they sort of show you what the lion might look like, but it's just an animation thing. And then,
right.
And then basically they shoot our part with the man, and then I do a pass without the man, and I pretend that he's there, so they get a version without the gray suit man. And then I do another pass where the camera is just doing it without any of us in it. So it's a very layered process. But for me, man, it was so interesting to see the film with an audience at the New York premiere, where, and this is what we love cinema for, is when an audience can just forget that they're in the cinema. They were screaming at me.
I know they were.
Screaming at the daughters, like, didn't he just tell you to stay in the car?
No, the older daughter pissed me off so much. I didn't understand why she had to be so irritating and so just rebellious the entire film. Why?
She was just a problem. But yeah, so it was, the other thing, when I was watching the movie, I was really aware that, my whole sexiest man thing, that just went out the window. You know what I mean? Because
stop it. No, people love you as a dad.
Like, I'm supposed to be like the guy with the gun. He can't fight. Oh man.
No, it was amazing. I'm glad you got to see it in New York. I'm sure that's like the perfect experience for a film like that.
Really was. New York was really up for it. I feel like, honestly, Will Packer and I decided to make this movie at a junction where we weren't even sure whether cinema was going to come back in the way that we knew. There was a version that this might have just been for streaming. But I really feel like that would be disappointing, because this is a definitely shared experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't go into the cinema by yourself and watch this movie, because you might come out with some anxiety.
Yeah, like me. No, I literally did not sleep last night. I literally had bad sleep. Thank you very much. But that is a testament to how great the film is. So what makes you decide on this? Because your body of work is so, like, you know what I mean? You give us all types of looks. Is it a decision like, okay, I'm gonna do this type of film right now, or is it just something that Will brings and you like it and you go? How does that work?
I mean, I feel like that I want to take my career in a place where I can boldly say I didn't do the same film twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a survival movie. I've never made a survival movie. And there are themes. I've played a father before. I played a father of girls before, but this has definitely got us a unique thing. And for me, that's attractive as an actor.
Yeah.
I get offered roles at the moment, which is a blessing. But if it feels like, oh, we loved you in this, so we thought you'd be good in this, that doesn't stretch me anymore. And I know there's a lot of people out there who just want to see me play gangsters and tough guys.
We love it. We love it.
But for me, that's not my career. My career, I want to try and open up and do as many different things. That said, you know what I mean? Like, Will Packer is my brother. He can always bring a script to me. I feel like one of my first movies in America was Gospel, which was the Gospel with Will Packer.
Yeah.
So we feel like we've evolved making a film about a family getting chased by a lion, which is, very different from all the films we made together,
How much has Will evolved? Just because you had the front row seat from the beginning of his career, and now watching this thing is like.
Yeah, Will is definitely like, this is a challenge for him. This steps out of the sort of, African-American culturally slanted films that he's really good at making. This is a thriller for all people. It just happens to be an African-American family. And, technically this movie is, for both of us, like I've never worked such intricate green screen and CGI work ever. I've never done that. I've done quite a bit of that stuff, but this is like, there's no lion. I was like, there's no lion. There's like, no, it's this guy.
Were you sad? Did you want a lion to be there?
No,
Would you have done lion stunts?
No. I mean, I'm tough and all that, but no, I didn't want to see that. But I just couldn't understand how it was going to be done. No, and we had referenced The Revenant, where Leo fights that bear. Yeah. And when I found out that bear wasn't real, blew my mind. I was like, oh, well, it can be done. And that film was, 6-7 years old. So the technology that we have now is incredible. So it was really, for both Will and I, it was outside of our comfort zone. And, for Will, definitely outside his expertise zone. He don't know nothing about that. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say that out loud. Will, you know nothing about special effects, but he does now.
It's a learning process, I'm sure. And then I'm sure there were other, was there any fear? Was there any real fear there? Because it looks like you were shooting. I know you were shooting. What part of Africa were you in? South Africa?
We was in South Africa, and it was a very isolated shoot. Some of it was at Cape Town, which is great, but the rest of it was outside this region. Is a region outside of Joburg called Limpopo, which is like really flat savanna. I mean, beautiful mountains and caves. It's just stunning out there. But it's very difficult to get there. And once you're there, you're just pinned in. So, the environment in this film is a character of the film. So yeah, it was quite tough to make that film. It was a bit like a traveling circus, the whole of us.
I was just wondering if there was really like wild animals out there, because you had alligators. It wasn't just the lion. There was alligators. There was all types of wild things.
We had to have full-time rangers that were just protecting us from the local wildlife. There was lots of hyenas, and hyenas, they don't play. Like you don't want to fight. You don't want to fight with a hyena. There were snakes. There were all kind of things that, we had to, because we were going into the environment. And also we didn't want to disturb the environment. So we had to, try and fit in. It was crazy, actually.
Yeah. I love that you shared, because you are a girl dad in real life too. And you're a good girl dad in the movies too. And I know you shared that Isan auditioned for this role. Is she salty when I know Isan's time is coming, by the way. She's gorgeous and her fit is going to come when her fit comes, but is she a little salty when she watches this, or is she over it? Because
definitely salty.
That's going to be forever.
But no,
she'll be fine.
The audition process was it was tough, but it was great. Her uncle Will, she's known all her life, gave her an opportunity, and she was great in the auditions. It was just down to what the director wanted, and she got down to the last 3, and we saw quite a few people. And Ayana just had a slightly different presence to Isan. Ayana's been acting for a while, and Isan, this would have been her first movie role. And look, I'm so proud of her, and she made me proud when she said to me, "Look, Dad, thanks for the opportunity." Like, it made me understand what I have to do as an actor to get the job. So I was like,
that's a more real life experience, by the way. The fact that as an actor, I mean, how many times were you not as excellent of an actor as you are? How many times are you not the right fit?
100%. Like we talked about that in New York when I lived there. Before I got on The Wire, it was knockback after knockback. I mean, how many movies I lost to Boris Kojo and
was that your guy? Was that the guy? Was Boris? Because there's always like somebody that's like, was it you and Boris?
Boris, it was Omar Epps, it was
Oh, that's a good class.
Malik Yoba. I mean, all those guys were, I was auditioning against, they're like, no, Boris got this one. No, you know, Omar got this one.
So funny that all of you are still working too, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's a good
Whenever I
class.
see those guys, it's always a nod.
That's a good class. So we know you like to diversify and do different types of films and different types of projects. I'm surprised there's no Idris music attached to this movie.
It's a sore subject.
Oh, did you audition and not get the not get the soundtrack? Did you audition for this movie and not get placement?
Let's just say I didn't get the brief right.
Got it.
Okay.
Because Idris, this was a movie shot in Africa. It is a fast pace. Like, I feel like there was some type of something.
Conversation.
Yes.
There was a conversation, but to be fair, Angie, I was too busy running away from lions to
fake lions.
Song.
Fake lions.
Fake.
Yes. But very convincing. Very convincing. So wait, is there music coming? Are you still in the lab? Like, are you managing all the multitasking of career right now?
It's fascinating because I play house when I DJ, and I've been making a lot of house, and it's really interesting seeing this sort of new sort of trend and wave towards house music. It's fascinating to me. And
I thought about you when I heard that Beyonce album. I did think about you because you really have been on this house wave. You have been on this house wave. I saw you when we were at Essence. How many years ago were you at Essence? Imagine Idris Elba at Essence Fest, but he was playing house music, which was the time was a little, not everybody got it in the moment, let's just say.
Only the classics. If I played Break to Love, they were like, oh,
of course.
That's Follow Me. They like that. But other than that.
But that's your bag. But this is your bag. This might be a moment for you.
It might be a moment. I feel like, it's not really known that I make music as well as DJ. So I don't want to feel like a copycat, but I've got a decent catalog of house music. And I feel like it's great. I'm really, American music, African-American music, it's always circular. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about hip hop, before hip hop was disco and house, and then hip hop. And so for me, it feels like everything's going to come around to circular. I remember there's like Mantronics back in the day. Mantronics was one of the big hip hop sounding records, but it was electronic. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a good time for me to sort of like, push the agenda a little bit and, push out my music.
How do you feel about, are you into this house music that's coming out? Do you feel like, because it's different, it's a little, it's not like the classic kind of house music. It's definitely, influence.
It's a hybrid, I play tech house, which is quite specific. It's sort of linked to Detroit, that Detroit sound. And the house that's coming out now is a little more soulful, song-led, little, I would say hazy, not in a bad way, just it kind of flirts between a bit of R&B, a bit of house and everything. But there are amazing examples. K Tronada is one of these guys as well that's been on this for a long time. And K Tronada, I know he's happy that this is a good way, but he hasn't suffered. He's done really well. So it's great that I think that the hybrid is coming. It doesn't have to all sound the same. I'm happy that it's got a little its own
Drake got a little pushback on his album when it came, and Beyonce could do anything. Beyonce came, and I think it's been really well received. Have you listened to both albums? Do you have takes?
I've listened to Drake's. I haven't listened to the entire version album of Beyonce's yet. I've been playing a remix of Break My Soul in my sets though, and it's been going off. I mean, off. But it's more like traditional house remix.
In Ibiza. Are you playing this in Ibiza? It's ringing off in Ibiza.
It's crazy in Ibiza right now. Drake's album is good. I thought that, what I liked about the ones where he rapped on is that it proved in concept, at least, that hip hop and house can actually marry, and he's got interesting flow. But in the UK, we've been doing that for a long time. It used to be garage, used to be jungle, used to be garage. And now, on a sort of 4 to the floor house record, you know, we're going to see more MCs doing that.
You say garage.
What
I
do you
had
say?
no idea. I say garage.
Sounds French to me. It's garage over here.
Do you say sneaker?
I say trainer, but because I lived in New York for a long time, yeah, sneakers. I say sneakers, but I grew up
Really?
saying trainers.
But you lived in Baltimore, so I'm surprised you don't say tennis shoe. You were in Baltimore for spent a lot of time
Yeah,
there.
that's true. They say tennis shoes out there.
That's terrible.
I say trousers. You say pants, right?
Pants. I say soda.
I say, wow, what do we say? Fizzy?
Pop?
Fizzy.
Fizzy.
Fizzy, yeah, like fizzy pop. For me, I lived in America for 16 years. So when I came back home, like to start Luther, my accent and phrasing was all over the place. I step into a lift and call it an elevator, and my English people would be like, "What did you say?"
Yeah.
It's a lift, mate, not an elevator.
That's why it's so amazing to me that you are still so strong rooted in your accent, because I who know you forget, because you're so good at an American accent. It's really really good. Do you still have to work at that? Like when you go do a movie like Beast?
100%.
Really?
Yeah. If I'm honest, like I can't watch or listen to myself play American characters. It's like,
Why? Yeah. Do you hear like imperfections, or do you hear?
Oh, yeah. I do.
Really?
And yeah. I mean, you know, my daughter, Isan, you know, she's American. She has an American accent, and she's like, "Oh, Dad, why do you talk like that?" She always thinks I sound like, you know, when Eddie Murphy does the white guy voice. Hey, buddy. Hey, man, why you talk like that? I was like, that's not how I sound. He says, yeah, you do.
I love that. I hear no imperfections when you do it. To me, I think that's your normal voice at this point.
I appreciate it. But it's weird. When I'm in America, my American accent or influence just comes flooding right back. When me and my brother are together, we basically sound like the same person.
Yeah, totally sound like the same person. Well, I love this movie, Idris. Just keep, we love you. We're thrilled to support you at every turn. And what do you? I don't know. What should people know? What if who haven't seen it yet? What is the? I will tell you that you will be terrified and have bad sleep. Maybe you have a better pitch than I have.
Look, this is a movie that definitely is going to. If you want escapism, I say this to Will. I said, do you know why there's not been many African American families in survival films? He's
why?
Like, I said, because we don't get ourselves into those situations.
Yes. I was watching the movie with some like 3 Black teenagers, and they were all like, I would never run. I would never get out of the car. Exactly. What is wrong with her?
What's wrong with her? Where are you going? That's what people were saying at the audience. It's so funny. So if you want that experience where you absolutely lose yourself within the theater experience, then Beast is the one for you and your family. You can bring, kids over 12, I believe. But it's definitely one for that full-fledged film, cinema experience. I really want to see people go back and enjoy film.
No, totally agree. Well, I hope to see you the next time you're in New York. I will not leave town.
Hey, I think we're on a call anyway in the next
hour.
Yeah,
we are. We'll talk about that in another press junket. I love you, Jess. Congratulations. Go see Beast, everybody.